Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 96. It's a trap! Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I wondered if I'd make anyone laugh with that. Fans, if you ever message me on Twitter or otherwise, I can show you one of my favorite possessions is a painting of Admiral Akbar that we just simply call the Admiral that rests in my office. This is Michael Corley, your lovable Dungeon Master, and with me tonight in this special two-part, two-person episode is Lee. Lee, do you want to say anything about your character? Mysterious Kinko. We will find out more as time goes on. And also with us tonight is Izzy. Tell us, everyone, about Lady Bottomworth.
Lady Bottomsworth is a totally normal, totally human, totally fancy lady. Definitely not a half-orc wearing a disguised self spell. Definitely knows what powdering her nose is.
Exactly. And as Izzy is joking about, in the last episode, Lee's new character, the Thief Kinku, and Morezi went together on a sort of heist, and they successfully infiltrated into the inner chambers of Wraithal, the mayor of Zental Keep. However, it seemed that he had a teleportation circle of some sort in his rug, and Morezi found herself teleported down into some sort of subterranean lair. Through some fun machinations, Lee's character knocked out the mayor Wraithal and then sent him spiraling down 3 stories, interrogated him, and found out the way to the entrance to said area. And we now open with your Kinku sneaking his way down. You do find a single guard, standing guard, where the entrance is, you suspect, is to this underground chamber.
Okay, I will imitate the sound of Wraithal again, calling, Quick! Something's going on in the yard! Go and investigate!
Okay. Now, I don't want to be Captain Rule Lawyer, but are you able to imitate his voice if you've never heard him say those specific words?
Well, it's the same words he was using when I did the horse thing.
Okay, so you're literally repeating what he said. Okay, I
Yes.
love it. I love that. You say the precise thing that he said, and I would like you to make a quick check to deceive this guard.
Bluff?
A bluff check, yes.
Ooh, 25.
The guard goes,
no.
Oh, yes, at once, sir. And ching, 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 and give me a quick hide check, since you are just hiding in the shadows as he runs by.
Quick hide, okay. 28.
Okay, he's not expecting you, so you'd have to roll very poorly, which would be kind of difficult for you as he goes clambering past you, and there is only a simple door down below banded with iron. There's nothing on it or anything like that. Something about the door makes you a little uneasy.
Yeah. I do have trap sense. +2.
So how does trap sense work, since we're going to be dealing more with Mr. Thiefy Boy?
Okay. That's just to gain a bonus to reflex saves to avoid traps, and a bonus to armor class to trap damage. But I do also have trap finding, which means I can use my search skill to find traps with a DC 20 or higher.
Okay. So I would like you to make a quick roll for me.
Okie dokie. That's a 19 on the die. If I'm using search, that's a 26.
Okay. So you find it's good, like it's a good trap, but it's a relatively simple trap that if you put this key in and you don't press down on a little, it's effectively a button to the side, a needle will spring out So you can open this actually without disabling the trap, or you can try to disable the trap.
I will open it without disabling the trap
Okay.
because it's covering my tracks essentially.
Okay. Yes, and that's why I wanted to ask, because if you do disable it, then anyone else coming down will realize that.
Yes.
But you press hold and you click, and you see that the needle does not depress, because this isn't a roll; it's just a thing you do. And the door creaks open, and there is a very long staircase going down. It is dark, but kind of like where Morezi was before, there is just a low level of light coming out. What level of vision does your character have?
He has dark vision.
So he can see in complete darkness.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
So it is very, very dim. There is just a very faint source of light coming from below. And so you can see, but even if there wasn't that, this is clearly, there is a bracket to your left where a torch would be. And you might recall that someone else went down here recently.
Indeed.
Or at least was supposed to. And so you might think that's probably where that torch is.
Okay. Quickly looking around, is there a same mechanism system on this side of the door?
No, there actually is not. It is only coming in, not going out.
Does it look like if I close the door behind me, I will be able to get out?
You would need to. It looks like if you close the door, it will automatically lock, but it looks like it should open with the key.
Okay. I'm going to be safe, and I'm going to take out. How does the bolt work on the door? It's just a simple.
It is a simple door. However, when it closes, you can tell it's designed to automatically lock, so that and the door will actually naturally swing shut by itself.
Is there a way to? Can I gum up the mechanism with some sealing wax?
Yes, absolutely. Though, well, no, on this side there really isn't a way to be stabbed by the needle. So yes, in effect, you could.
Because my thinking is I can use the sealing wax to gum it up, and then when I come back out, I can melt it back out so that it leaves virtually no trace.
Yeah. So give me a quick roll of just your disable trap.
Disable device? Beautiful.
Yeah, disable device. Just to kind of get a general sense of how well you do this.
That's a non-natural 20.
Okay, so you feel like you've done exactly as you hoped to. Again, this is a very well-made trap, but it's a simple trap. And the door itself is well-made. In fact, again, kind of like Morezi, you get the sense this is maybe Dwarven-made. Mm-hmm. So it's very high quality, very well-made, and not some of the more shoddier stuff that some humans make.
I'll give it a quick test to make sure the door doesn't close immediately behind me.
Mm-hmm.
If it does,
it should be fine. You're able to open it.
Okay.
And as far as you can tell, when the guard comes back, which you assume he would not notice anything amiss, you think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that. I will leave it and I will make my way down the stairs slowly and cautiously, keeping an eye out for any further traps that may be around.
Okay.
As I was warned, the place is full of traps.
You were warned that, and so I'm not going to boringly constantly ask you. You being told this place is full of traps, Morezi nearly stepping on a trap immediately. I would assume both of you are expecting traps.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like we're going to keep our heads on swivels and our eyes like chameleons at this point.
Yes. And you keep heading down a little further, and you see the stairs kind of level out, and you can see the corridor kind of narrows, and there is a path ahead with paving stones, and you hear a whimpering noise, and you see two sets of fingers holding on to one of the paving stones, and the paving stone where one should be is missing. And so the story is very clear to you. Someone stepped on the wrong paving stone and fell, but they are now holding by their fingertips. They are human fingertips, and you hear whimpering from below, and you know from experience that there is only so long you can hold on to that.
Against my better judgment, I'm going to do a quick sweep, make sure that if I do decide to quickly haul this guy out, I can put him in a safe position without compromising my own safety.
Okay. So the one, I need you to do a spot check for me.
A what check?
Well, I'm sorry. Actually, a check for traps.
Okay.
Detect traps.
So 18.
Okay. So the problem is you can't see the one that's missing because, it fell in. But you're able to use deductive reasoning by the pattern that's generally on there. And you are pretty sure that you can tell that every third one is trapped. You don't know if they're the same, that if they all fall in or if they do something different. But as far as you can tell, every third one is wrong to step on. And so you think you should be able to jump on there, hop over the wrong ones, and if you so choose, to help this person.
Yeah, I think we'll try that.
Okay. So I do need a this would be balance, I would say. Yeah,
Okay.
This would be like a balance check, really.
Beautiful. 28.
Okay. And you just and on that other one, you see the one finger just one hand starting to slide, and he goes, no, 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 no. And then your hand comes down and grabs him. And you begin to haul him up. What is your strength, by the way?
It is 14. Not
Okay.
great, but
So
it'll do.
14th is sufficient with appropriate circumstances to pull this person up. I mean, 14 is fairly strong. That is you do have a bonus to damage and such. So you are not a weakling. You're not Morezi or Osokai, but you are strong as humans are reckoned, and stronger than you look, I guess would be another way of putting it.
Yes.
As you pull this person up, as you're pulling him up, you realize, unsurprisingly, this is actually one of the two guards. The one who lost the rock parchment dagger,
Yes.
and had to go down. And you have just saved his life. You are pulling him up, and Morezi, you are making your way through a corridor. The corridor.
Wonderful.
Your senses are blazing as you have caught that first trap, and you are ready for anything. But what you're not ready for is a corpse just sitting in a chair. There is a corpse sitting in a chair. Now, you have been around ticks a long time, and so you recognize the vestments of a cleric. You see this whatever this person is, it is a human, you think. It is a corpse, after all. A human corpse sitting in a chair. This room is somewhat rectangular. It's about the same width as the inside of Audrey, in that it's about 30 feet by 30 feet. And there's a chair set roughly in the middle. There's a few kind of like objects sort of half turned over, like maybe this room was used for something and it's falling into disuse.
Okay.
And you don't know if it's a trick of the light or if it's something else, but there's like almost like a moonlight being cast on this corpse. The other thing that you see is it does have a weapon. It has a black mace, and its right arm is covered in a dark gauntlet. What would you like to do?
I'm going to make a search check to see if there's. I mean, this isn't a miss situation, but to see if there's anything extra amiss, like if it's glowing with magic.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 20, not natural.
20 not natural. So when you were in the Simeon crevasse, at one point Athora was at the lead, and she held out a torch, and it broke a moonbeam, and this spikes came forward, and the Craxian bandit corpse, came sliding out with it. And you, again, being a trap maker, you think that somehow this light is some kind of trap. You think that if you break the light beam, that something will happen, and probably not a good thing.
This
Okay,
is Temple of Doom shit right here.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
I take a piece of, like, dirt or rock from the ground? Is the ground where I could pick up a rock?
It's littered with debris.
I'm going to chuck a medium-sized rock into the moonbeam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and obviously, this goes without saying, but Aki is back with Audrey and the others. Just
Oh, yes.
thought I'd throw that out there. Obviously, it would have been impossible to hide them under your disguise, which is still up, by the way.
Yeah.
You chuck it, and there is actually an audible sound. And as soon as you do it, you actually can tell this light is like a magical construct. It is not simply like some reflection of mirrors. It is an artificial construct of light. And as soon as it passes through, it's not that the dirt clod is damaged. It's that it triggers. And the corpse kind of straightens itself and turns and looks at you. And it says,
"Who do you serve?"
Could you repeat that?
"Yes, my lady. Who do you serve?"
I serve myself.
"Then you shall serve Bane." And the
arm raises the gauntlet, and you see it glow a faint, like a greenish glow. Not a baleful blue glow, just to clarify. Just a regular greenish glow as it draws forth the mace. And the face just suddenly, it was just, a human face. And then suddenly it just turns. It melts. It reshapes into this hideous grin. And this demonic visage appears on it. And you're catching just a tiny glimpse of the god Bane, who basically, if you think about the way the bad guy at the end of Aladdin looked when he turned into the genie, that just like your classic demon face, but like distended and distorted, and he just goes ah. And Lee, as you pull this guy up down the hallway, you hear this ah. And I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
I see. Nat 1.
Plus your initiative
Nat 1.
bonus.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. 3.
3. And for Kinku?
22.
22. And for the answer, okay. So you actually move first, Lee. You've just successfully pulled this guy out, and he's shaking. He thought he was dead. You catch the quickest glimpse below of a great many spikes, and something is moving among the spikes. Just FYI. But you are well out of range of them as far as you can tell. And you pull this guy up. This has just happened, and now it is your turn. What would you like to do?
The word "stay" from a man remonstrating his dog.
Mm-hmm.
can be heard. Like, stay.
Give me a quick intimidate check with
Okay.
advantage,
Okay.
given the circumstances.
Much better. 18.
Okay, and he just and he stands there, but like you can tell, like he's not even sure if his own feet are going to hold him up, and so he's still scared, but he's just staying right on that spot and not moving.
Yeah. I guess I'll head towards the sound of the roar, being careful, obviously. I don't want to get caught in another trap, but...
okay, give me a quick spot check as you are moving towards that.
Ooh, 18.
18. And one more balance check, actually, because you do still have to make your way across the rest of this.
I like this. I like this a lot. Cool. 22.
22.
26,
so
sorry.
you see him freezing on the spot you left him on, and you just boom, boom, boom. And like on the last one, you launch yourself off because it's kind of tricky on the last few parts, and just and your foot hits the side of the wall, and boom, and you just push yourself off and land at a slow run as your eyes are darting left and right looking for anything. And with that spot check, you actually don't see anything else that you can see. And it's leading into a chamber, and you can see a figure approaching Lady Bottomsworth with a mace upraised. But you have actually already done your action, but this will... you can use this to move the rest of the way in if you so choose.
I cannot take an attack, can I? So,
right, because that was your attack to intimidate him.
Okay. I'll position myself for a flank.
For a what? I'm sorry?
For a flank. To flank
okay.
him.
Yes.
If I'm going to raise my finger to my beak again, catching Lady Bottomsworth's eyes, if I can, while she's possibly a little distracted. She knows what's up. I'm hoping. I mean, she seems versed in combat. It makes sense that she would know. Don't let the bad guy know about the guy trying to stab him in the back. But that's on her, really.
Well, and give me a move silently check to ensure that you are successfully flanking.
25.
Perfect. So you're just and Lady Bottomsworth, you can see this happening, and it is actually the undead's turn. The mace glows along with the gauntlet, and it just swings at you, going for your delicate little head, which is about a foot lower than Mrezi's. And he does pretty good, but he gets a 17. Is that better than your armor?
No,
it is not. Even with his good to hit, he rolled a 13. So, actually, I shouldn't have told you that because now you know the bonus. But it doesn't matter. It is your turn, Mrezi.
I would like to swing my halberd at him. I believe that if I do so, the halberd is now visible, but I'm still disguised.
When you attack, this actually will end the disguise.
Yeah, it's the most in character option. My first attack is a 19.
19 will hit.
Four points of damage, and my next attack is
you get 4 points of damage along with your bonus?
1d10 plus 3, and I rolled a 1.
Oh, yeah, the 1 would do it. Okay, that was my confusion.
Okay. For my next attack, I rolled a 19 again.
19.
This time, 8 points of damage.
So you see this Lee as she pulls out her invisible hammer. Halberd, and swings. The visage of Lady Bottomsworth disappears, replaced by the very tall, very muscular Morezi McGraw as she slams into one side, reverses, and slams into the other side with the halberd, just hacking away pieces of this. He's in sort of decaying chainmail, but you bite through with each blow, and that will actually bring it to you, Lee.
Okay. Well, since I can't sneak attack undead, which is unfortunate.
By the way, this is technically slashing damage that you're doing, Morezi. And technically, a zombie has a damage reduction of 5. But as you're attacking, you, as you have so often before, feel that armband kind of, and you just feel it bite just ever so much more into the flesh, deeper. And the 5 slashing damage does not apply.
Ooh.
So I guess I'm just gonna club it. We're gonna go clubbing,
Okay.
boys.
Don't clubbing, boys.
Yeah. Since I wasn't entirely sure if it was undead until I got close enough.
Oh yeah, when you really couldn't tell because its back was turned to you, but when it raised its arm, you could see like part of the bone, sticking out. It's been dead quite a long time.
I guess I'm gonna go clubbing.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Wow. And double all of that?
So it's a D6 plus 5. So that's 11, so 22.
And when you say club, what weapon are you using?
A club.
Okay, you're literally using your club.
I have
okay.
a club, yes.
Yes. I thought that you did, but I just wanted to make sure with a newer character that I'm catching it. And tell me the total damage again.
That's 11 on the first attack.
11?
Oh, I don't have any other attacks. It's fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
y'all did 23 points of damage, which is decent.
I have a monk in a different campaign. I'm used to
a million attacks.
yes. Monks are overpowered in every game.
Yes. And it actually does something you are not expecting, Morezi. It actually drops the mace, and it tries to grab you with its hand, with its gauntleted hand.
You do not want to be touched by that.
And that is a 22. My first final not bad hit. I believe that hits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with a touch attack.
Yes, with a touch attack, you do not get your dexterity bonus. And so that is 15 points of... you feel 15 points of necrotic damage. So everywhere it touches, your arm begins to blacken. As it touches the area where your beefy biceps are sticking out from your scale mail.
No,
and,
my beefy skin.
And it feels awful. I mean, it feels like you just had an infection and it just raged through your left arm. And you see this hideous smile increase on the face. This is a zombie, but there's more to it than that. It's more than just a base zombie. Well, obviously the fact that it talked to you would tell you that. And that arm is not working so well right now. You can still wield your halberd, but you actually have a -2 to attack with your halberd because it's a two-handed weapon.
Fun.
For the moment. And that will actually bring it to you.
Oh, me? Yes. Let's try to attack this bad boy again. Going to use my first attack with an halberd.
The -2.
20.
That will definitely hit. You get a +2 flanking bonus if your opponent is threatened by a character on the opposite side. So basically, what this does is it negates your -2.
Ah.
Your -2 is negated because as long as the character is he's flanked, you get a +2 to hit them because they have to sort of deal with both of you at the same time, and it makes them easier to hit.
Well, I definitely hit, and I rolled
Mhm.
13 points of damage. And for my second attack, I'm going to do the same with my halberd. That is 13.
13. So 2 13s.
No, 13 was my
13.
damage, and now it's my attack roll.
Yeah, that is not going to hit because it is wearing chain armor. It's rotting chain armor, so it's not great, but it is still. Basically, you're still dealing with your left arm being off, and you hit into the chain armor, but it just doesn't bite through. And that will bring it back to you, Lee. It is aware of you clearly, but it is pretty much ignoring you and trying to kill Morezi.
Yeah. I guess we'll swing away.
Mm-hmm.
19.
19. Okay. That will hit.
Okay. 11.
11. Very good. So you've done 47 points of damage to this undead creature. Just pow, 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 slice, slice, slice. And of course, clubs do not have the disadvantage of slashing weapons. And it is back to the creature's turn. He turns to you, Morezi, and he says, "Sacrifice yourself to the Lord, Bane." And he, Bane, and a disgusting cloud of rotting flesh sprays out from his mouth and begins to fill the room. I need both of you to make fortitude saving throws.
Stinky.
Dude needs a tic tac now.
That's a 25.
25, okay.
And 22.
And 22, okay, so that is... Where's my other die? There. Always good when the DM's looking for more die. 7, 8, 9. So that would have done 9 points of necrotic damage to both of you. You feel it just burning at your lungs. Whatever it is it's almost acidic. This is just eating away the very life from you. But both of you just kind of shield your mouth and turn away and hold your breath as best you can. And so you actually both take 5 points of damage. However, the cloud is still there, and so you will need to do that again on the next turn. But it happens again on his turn. And it is your turn, Lee.
Okay. Is it mine or is it Mary's?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is Morezi's turn. I apologize.
Yeah,
Good
I get to whack him again. That is... That's a 16. And my next attack is a 12, so only one of those hits. 10 points of damage.
Okay. Morezi, describe to me how you destroy this undead cleric.
It's not Morezi's nicest halberd work. She's holding her breath and one of her arms is messed up, so she's just kind of like whack, whack.
She kills him with a dab.
Yes.
Death by dab. That should have been the name of the episode.
Puts one arm over her mouth, the left arm over her mouth in that standard dab position, and then slashes with the halberd into the classic dab.
Absolutely. That's canonical now. That is how I killed it.
Orcish jazz hands and orcish dabbing.
And he's starting to say, "Sacrifice yourself to..." Bah! And then the halberd comes up and just goes right into his brain pan. And there's a moment where his jaw kind of like slackens, and you actually see the halberd in his mouth.
Yay!
And then he crumples to the ground and doesn't turn to dust, but just kind of becomes more corpse-like as his body starts to fall apart.
Yay!
And y'all
How's
are both
that
able
taste?
to back up and let the cloud kind of dissipate. What would you like to do?
I suppose we need to move forward, don't we?
Go back the way I came, I guess.
Yeah, I would like you both to make a spot check.
18? No, 20.
Hey.
Sorry, I rolled
Nat
an
20.
Okay. So what you realize is it's not so much that the room itself is trapped, it's that the things that you saw here earlier, they were disguised. Is like what looked like, just a tarp with like a crate next to it was actually an important collection of items. And so this room is like a storage room.
Ooh.
And you find several important things. You find, like a large barrel of like very expensive vintage elven wine, something you're familiar with, Morezi. You find an iron chest, which I would need you to obviously do a check before opening. And you actually find a box. It is a plain wooden box, and it is clearly the script is written on the side. What languages do you speak, Lee?
I can understand Common, Auran, Elven, Undercommon, and Dwarven.
So this is actually written in Dwarven. And it is what you came here for. It is not incredibly large. It is probably 2 feet by maybe 3 feet. It is a little heavy, but it is what you were looking for.
I will indicate as such to my companion, who is now thoroughly undisguised. It's here. And I will investigate this iron-bound chest, checking for traps and all the rest of it. The usual roguish stuff that I would like to do.
Okay, give me that detection of those traps, sensing those traps.
Oh, that's a nat 20 on the die, so 26.
Okay.
27.
So, 27. So,
yes.
Here's the thing, and this is going to shorten this episode slightly, probably for the benefit of everyone, is what you realize is it's not that this chest is trapped like the way the door was. This chest is a trap.
Ooh.
So if you had tried to open this chest, if you had tried to stick your lock picks in to disable this trap, something really bad was going to happen. Think again, Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom, the room with the spikes coming down. Like, something that level was going to happen if you had tried to open this chest.
Interesting.
And the truth is, you don't know what. You can see kind of like little mechanisms going into the ground, but you honestly don't know exactly what would have happened here.
And now you're making us want to open it.
I will indicate that this is very dangerous. As in, touch this and possibly die.
Gotcha.
Now you make me want to touch it.
There's literally nothing to gain from even looking at this chest. It itself appears to be a trigger. But yeah. Okay. Is there anything else of quote unquote value? within
yes.
that I could possibly secret into some hidden pockets within my person?
Yes. There is actually a small bag, and it is filled with a kind of black obsidian jewelry that is very likely to be worth several hundred gold. It is almost certainly dwarven made. It is intricate, and it looks like a set, like a necklace and earrings and bracelets. So it's meant to be, used all together. And if it was sold as such in a market, that somewhere where that would be appreciated, it might go for anywhere from 200 to 700 gold, depending on where you were able to sell it.
Yeehaw.
Or it could go into our dress closet. Make up
That's right.
a new ensemble for Morezi at this point.
That's right.
All right, I will secret that away into a pocket.
Okay.
I'm not going to make any bones about. I'm not going to make any bones about trying to hide it from Morezi. Like it's
okay.
It's what we're here for, is to steal stuff. So we might as well just take some stuff.
Right. Well, and it's not. I mean, y'all are stealing from these guys, so it's not. It's not even kind of weird, and it's not. There's nothing particularly wrong, quote unquote, with what you're doing.
I mean, from Izzy's point of view, I just picked up some black rock stuff and I put it in my pockets.
So the only way out is back the way you came, Lee, and that guy is still standing there. He's kind of like inched himself up against the wall to brace himself, and he's clearly terrified to move for the moment.
Okay. See, this is interesting because they'd have to have some way to either disabling these traps for anyone coming down here, especially if it's a storage room, or I guess either he forgot where all the traps were placed when he came through and ended up falling into one. Either way, I will kind of question him. Can I turn it off?
When you say it, what do you mean when you talk to him?
Essentially, I'll indicate the whole room with my fingers and just kind of, can I turn it off?
He says, well, it's not. It's meant to activate, and then the sacrifice happens, and then it resets itself. If there's a way to turn off the whole thing, I don't know. It was built centuries ago by dwarven smiths.
Against my better judgment, again, I'm going to lead them both out in the exact way I came through.
I, of course, come with.
Gotcha. Morezi, now obviously I don't need to make, you explain, you still, I'm not even going to make Lee do it, but I would like you to make a balance check, Morezi, going over these stepstones.
Please don't.
Okay. 16.
That is enough. There's one moment where your foot kind of a little close, and one of the things just goes down, and you hear a ka-tung, 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 and there's like a sound below, some kind of maybe slithering type sound below. But
why do they have to be snakes?
you make your way. Both make your way through, and you're making your way back up the staircase with this guy in tow.
Okay. I am going to stop on the staircase before we get to the door. And
you seem like a chill guy. You want to get some mead sometimes?
This is to the terrified guard.
He's like, sure.
That's the spirit.
He is absolutely terrified. This is the
With
worst thing that's ever happened to him in his whole life. And he's from Zintal Keep, so he's likely racist, and he's being held captive by a kinku and a half orc.
uh, I saved your life. In the voice of a drunkard in a bar recounting a story or something. I saved your life. And then in the voice of Inaskia, what's the safest way out of here? And I won't kill you.
Well, if you went out the front corridor, there would be guards. The safest way, some of us sometimes go and sneak out the garden, because it's the least watched area. We go out there if we want to play a game of craps, and you probably could get over the wall fairly easy there.
Lead us.
I could. Okay. This is where racism works out of their favor, because he believes all of the stories that have been told to him about not so much kinku, though they're just like sneaky and mistrustful, but like he believes this half orc will plunge its hand into his chest and eat his heart.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't.
He's actually more scared of Morezi than he is of you.
Even though that the exact same orc just offered to get him mead sometime.
Yep. So he is just terrified of you, Morezi. And how do you want to? Who wants to open the door?
I'm gonna make him do it.
Okay. He opens the door, and miraculously, that's how combat works in D&D. This hasn't taken very long. And the guard that you tricked to go out still isn't back yet, though they, as far as you know, should be back any time.
Okay. I'm going to quickly retrieve my sealing wax.
Okay.
And point to the door and indicate to Morezi, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
And literally point out where the needle would come out. Being that she makes traps, she'd know exactly where to look. I'm
yeah, you immediately recognize this. It's construction, Morezi. You've never made a needle trap yourself because you think they're for wussies, but you understand how they work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do I need to do a check, or can I just disable it?
No.
I can pass through?
No, y'all can pass through because
I'm literally just warning her that she's there, just to be careful about touching the door in the wrong way.
Thank you, bird friend. I'd also enjoy getting a mead with you. Do birds drink mead? Would that be poisonous to you?
The sound of glugging.
Lovely.
And I will poke our guard friend in the back gently, but with just enough pressure that he knows there's a blade there.
Okay. You don't even need to question how terrified he is. You don't think that he's going to, quote unquote, betray you, at least as long as you're near him, because he's just terrified. You don't know how good he's going to be at being quiet and such. As you make your way up, you can see a small crowd gathering to the other end, where the front gate is. You can also see that Raythiel is there, that he's managed to free himself or someone found him, which is very likely because he wasn't that far off. He looks really bad shape. He has a massive bruise on his right in the center of his eyes where you knocked him unconscious. And he's literally there's just like blood on him. From his fall, from being banged around by you, from the chain. He just, he looks like he lost a bar fight. Mm-hmm. He looks in terrible shape, and there are no clerics here.
Yay!
And he's just barking orders at people and just like, find him, find the Kinku. He's got to be here. And he's shouting at everyone, and there's just kind of a general chaos. It is relatively clear to the garden There is one guard nearby that might see you if y'all just literally just carefully walk over to that exit.
I will indicate to the guard to be quiet. Point at the other guard and swing my finger around in a circle in a classic find a way around.
Okay. He goes, there's no other entrance. I can go talk to the god if you like.
I'll look to Morezi with a questioning side eye.
We should probably...
Let's try to be inconspicuous. Because I'm very conspicuous.
Yes, the 7-foot green-skinned, inconspicuous half-orc barbarian.
For logistical purposes, also, Morezi, are you holding the crate, the small but still somewhat heavy crate?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, it
That's
just makes
Morezi's
sense.
job.
But I wanted to understand that logistically.
She would be the only one who could too.
Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely hold it, but it would be hard for you to do any sneaky sneaks while doing so. So the question is, are you going to trust him to go there? Or are you going to try to do anything first before he goes there? Or are you going to try to find some other way?
I'd like to roll intimidation on him.
Okay, and I would like you to roll with advantage.
Serious advantage. I think if you literally just drew your finger across your own neck at him, he would wet himself.
You seem kind of nice, but I should mention, if you do not do as we say, then I will eat your skin and wear your bones.
I roll a natural 20.
Jesus.
Apparently, when he was a child, there was a story told called "Raw Head and Bloody Bones," and for some reason, that combination that you used just brings this childhood boogeyman that he sat in his little room, just terrified that it was going to come in the window and eat him, called "Raw Head and Bloody Bones." And when you say "eat your skin and wear your bones," even though it's not the story, it just brings it back, and just the absolute color drains from his face. And
that's a good man.
You're actually worried he's going to pass out, but he gets control of himself, and he staggers over to the guy and goes, Hey, Thomas, I think Wraithal needs you over there. And he's like, what are you talking about? Wraithal told me to watch the back, but y'all now can move. And I would like, I only need you, Lee, to roll a move silently.
Done. Natural 20, so 34.
Okay. So you, Morezi, you're basically following behind him. That's not always how Move Silently works, but that's how it's working right now. As y'all do, and he sees the two of you, and perhaps there's this moment where Morezi, you just kind of go dee-lee-lee-lee-lee with your fingers, toodaloo, and he's just like, and he like literally like grabs Thomas and like hugs him. Because he doesn't know what else to do because he's afraid he's going to turn around, and just goes, "I love you, man."
I love you too. I knew you'd get back to me on that marriage proposal.
That's right. And years and years later, he finally admits to Thomas the real reason that he proposed. But they do live a happy life together.
Lovely.
And I won't go towards the last part. Once you get into it's exactly as he said. The wall of the garden is relatively low. You're able to make your way over. Y'all kind of heave ho the crate. You make your way out. You make your way off. Lady Bottomworth and the mysterious Kinku steal their way into the night. And a few days later, a few miles north, there is a gathering. There is a gathering of friends and people who are starting to become friends. There is Tix, Penton. There is this new mysterious Kinku who is starting to learn the other characters. There's a Thora who's becoming more and more friendly with everyone, relaxing somewhat. And of course, there's you, Morezi. There has been transported to this open glen a great deal of orcish mead. The kind that is used to strip paint. And a great celebration takes place. And in this celebration, the corpse of Osokai is set fire. In a huge bonfire among a great celebration. And others join, because before his death, perhaps fortuited by the gods, Captain Jackson is there. And Zuana, in her true form as a drow, is there. And in fact, 2 of the drow children that you saved so long ago, one of whom has become a paladin, and the other who has become a druid. They dance, and they dance, and they celebrate, and they drink, and a lot of them throw up because that is some harsh stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Brindle is retching in a bush because she tried to be cool.
Brindle absolutely was trying to be cool as she was waving the mace that Osokai had given her, that had been enchanted by the old woman of the wood elves. And just as the party is reaching its crescendo, out comes the crate that you had found out about from a friend of a friend of a friend, Lee, that you had informed Morezi, who you knew had some sense of traps and thought might be good for this, and you got a local friend to cast disguise on her to pull off this weird scheme. And as the crate is opened, it is revealed to hold fireworks. And as the moon rises just a sliver up, and perhaps you see just in the distance the cloak of the traveler spreading across the opening night. Fireworks of the finest dwarven and particularly gnomish make zoom up into the sky and explode, even as Osokai's corpse is consumed and his spirit is fully transferred to the realm of the traveler, never to return to this realm in that form, as it should be. And you party into the night. And that's where we'll end! Chafing Armor, episode 96. Thank you both for your help.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That was fun. And
Yes.
yes, it would definitely be the last final trick of Osokai to play on everybody by bringing orcish meat to his party.
Yes. You don't know
Everybody
if
gets
this-
sick.
Yeah, everybody is, except for Morezi. Everybody is wrecked the next
What?
day. There's-
Why are you guys like this? Did you get enough sleep?
Yeah, you and your very loud voice.
That one time I drank it in Bunting, and I was like, you know what? This would be good for my funeral.
And it turns out that Captain Jackson, who having absorbed some of of Osokai's memories, actually knew the kind of funeral that he would want. And she had mentioned this in passing, and that is what gave you the idea to pull this heist off. So thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a wonderful time.
Once again, goodbye, big fella. It was
Yes,
fun.
I'll miss
a final
him.
goodbye for Osokai and a new chapter for our new friend. Eventually, maybe you'll find out what his name is. But until then, good night, and we will roll with you soon.